everybody, welcome to the 𝐂𝐤 Way. I'm Jessica. In today's video we are going to be looking inside the Because of Winn-Dixie novel study. The only thing you would need for this novel study in addition to the study itself is a copy of Kate DiCamillo's Because of Winn-Dixie, or you can use an audio version, it would work as well. Let's go ahead and take a look inside this cross-curricular literature study for all ages. The first thing we have is going to be the lesson plans. So for 5 weeks, you're going to have different chapters assigned, and then each day you're going to have an activity. So for example, copywork, vocabulary, creative writing, comprehension, or a summary of the chapters you've read that week. And then on week 6, this is kind of a review week, so you get to do a lot of fun activities and like literary analysis on the novel itself. Then we have cross-curricular connections. So this is where you get to extend the book if that's what you want to do in your homeschool. If you really want to bring that book to life, these are extension activities for math, writing, social studies, science, art, and music. And there's multiple ideas for each. Then we have favorite quotes from Because of Winn-Dixie. So as your child reads it, they can write down some of their favorite quotes. And then we have week 1 copywork. So like I said, there's going to be copywork for each of the 5 weeks. It's taken from the chapters that you've read that week. Your child will practice writing by writing it. And then I have recently added some actual extension, so where you can either address grammar or punctuation with your child. So for example, this passage is intentionally written with long, flowy sentences which mimic how someone might speak when telling a story quickly. Ask your child to listen or read it aloud. Can they feel where natural pauses should be? Discuss how authors sometimes use run-on sentences to capture excitement, but how we usually would break them up into shorter sentences for clarity and formal writing. So that way they can see how you would speak, but then we're addressing the grammar and punctuation. We have vocabulary. So in this one, they would match the word on the left to the definition on the right. Week 1 writing. Here we're going to be writing a flyer for Winn-Dixie and creating one for his adoption. Week 1 comprehension. And then a summaries of the chapters that you read that week. Now each week for weeks 1 through 5 while you're reading the book is very similar with just some variation. So we have copywork again. This time we're going to be talking about descriptive adjectives. Vocabulary work. This time we're going to fill in the blank with the word that matches the description. Week 2 writing. We're going to write a rich sensory description of Gloria Dump's backyard from Opal's point of view, using vivid language to paint a picture of the bottles, trees, smells, sounds, and emotions, which is why we discussed adjectives during our copywork that week. We have comprehension for what we read, and then a summary for what we read. And as you'll see here, weeks 3, 4, and 5 are very similar. We're going to be working on acrostic poems, doing comprehension, summary, but each week our grammar and parts of speech and punctuation change, our vocabulary changes a little bit, our creative writing projects change, and our comprehension changes just a little bit. Once we finish weeks 1 through 5, you've finished the book. And then you're going to do some fun things for week 6 as a review. So you have a word search, a crossword puzzle. I'm going to design a new book cover. I'm going to do some story setting, drawing a picture and describing it. Identifying the theme and finding examples from the book to support it. Plotting the story. Doing an in-depth character analysis on your favorite character. Doing a persuasive writing book review, doing an in-depth look at the book and the movie, since this book does have a movie. And then I've also included some book and movie discussion questions. This goes a little more in-depth, not just your generic, which did you like better, but a little more in-depth about like the actual filming, like how did the use of music or silent affect the mood in key scenes? What did the filmmakers do to make Winn-Dixie seem like a character with a personality even though he doesn't talk? So it just digs in just a little bit more. Then we have a figurative language activity. What is figurative language? The different types of figurative language. We're going to go on a figurative language scavenger hunt in the book. Then we have a hands-on activity. So for that hands-on activity, we have these cards that have all of the different types of figurative language. And then there are 20 cards here that have quotes from the book. So she looked like a wrinkled balloon. That's a simile. The preacher's eyes were pinholes. That's an idiom. And you would just sort them out. There is an answer key included as well. There's a list of final project ideas, 9 different ones you can choose from. And then again, like I said, that answer key, so that if you decided to assign this to your child and not read it with them, you would be able to check their answers without having read it yourself.